Hey everyone, welcome to week 2 of this 4-week quick Maymester course. I wanted to touch base with you about the major assignment, the writing assignment for this week. It's called the Rhetorical Twitter Thread. But before I get there, I wanted to comment on a couple of things that I saw last week. So, with your annotated readings, um, from what I saw, the ones that were submitted, those look great. Great job on those annotations. Again, I'm looking for quality interactions and pretty frequent commenting on those articles. So good job on doing that. um, this week we also have the first vlog. Okay, so with the vlogs, now we're getting into the novel The Circle by Dave Eggers. Um, And what I would like for you to do here, this is the main part of the book. This is the first 300 pages. So it's pretty bulky. It's a good amount of this book. So what we're doing with this is I need you to provide a video-based response that's at least 3 minutes in length. And what I want you to do in your response is summarize the content, so what's happening in the first part of this book, reflect on the information in a personal way. That means talk about it um, in terms of your personal experiences or feelings towards what's happening in the book. And then lastly, connect it to other things. So far we haven't read too much. We've read Clive Thompson's article on his War and Peace experiment. So you can try and connect it to that. Or really just sort of your overall feelings towards what's happening in the book. Remember, this is a dystopic fictional novel, but many of the things that we see in here are very close to our realities with technology. So try and keep it 3 to 5 minutes in length. And then here's a link right here that explains how to record your response. You do it right here in Canvas. So that's how you do that. That's the vlog. Okay. Now, with regards to the digital badges, we have 2 more badges this week. Make sure you pay close attention to those. Again, if the badges are requiring an outside reading, that reading is also the reading that you use for your annotated reading assignment. So they're all the same week to week. If you didn't get a chance to submit any of your work from last week, please do so. Remember that you still have a week past the due date to submit the work. And it will be accepted with a late penalty, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, moving on to the important paper. Look at the point tallies here. This is 15 points. This is a big one. Your paper assignments are big ones. This one's probably something that's unlike anything you've done previously. So we're actually using Twitter to write this paper, and we're doing so in a thread format. And if you're not on Twitter, what that means is you'll need to sign up for an account, and you can do that with any email that you want. If you already are on Twitter and you don't want to put this on your regular Twitter profile, then you may create a new, different, temporary profile on Twitter and do it that way. So all I ask is that you mention me in your Twitter thread, and typically in the first post, the first of your 10 posts. I want you to mention my username, and that will alert me that you've posted your thread. Okay, what is a Twitter thread? Each post or tweet on Twitter can be up to 280 characters. That's all. So a Twitter thread usually is when people go on longer discussions surrounding some topic that take more than 280 characters, and so they'll in some way connect these threads or these posts to one another, and it forms what's called a Twitter thread. So I give you some examples here. There are plenty of examples of Twitter threads on Twitter, but this one is the Oren Cass example that I give you, and you can see what he's doing here. He is commenting on an article that was posted elsewhere, but he's commenting on it here. And what he's doing is he's actually signaling to the reader what number in the sequence of the thread this is. So the first post is, he's using 1/ and he's writing the post, followed by the next one, 2/, 3/, 4/. You can see each one can only be up to 280 characters, and so it's really not giving you a whole lot of room to play with, which means you'll have to be somewhat clever in the way that you write and in the way that you fit what you want to say into these tweets. So it's actually a little more difficult than you would think. I want you to try and use as close to the 280 as you can for each of your tweets. In other words, try not to use, one tweet as being like one short phrase or half a sentence or something. Try and use the full amount. In other words, this should amount to whatever this would look like on paper, however long that would be. I mean, you can sort of figure 280 characters. Let's just say that's 200 words per tweet. There are 10 of these minimum, so you're looking at 2,000 words, basically. So it's, around the length of a normal paper. It's just that we're using Twitter to host this. So you can go through and read and see what he's doing. He's using different forms of media. He's including charts here. He's linking out to other articles. He's actually taking a screenshot here of another article because he wants to comment on this. So these are the types of things that I want you to implement in your Twitter thread as well. So not just your written response to the Clive Thompson article, but an analysis. I want you to look at it rhetorically. And what I mean by that is, think about and consider these types of questions. You can look in the textbook for better explanation of what a rhetorical analysis might look like. But think about these different things. Think about the structure, the way that he structures it, the resources that he's providing, the hyperlinks, his specific stance on the issue of reading War and Peace on his iPhone. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been saying 10 tweets in a thread. I guess the minimum here I have is 15. So, in other words, I want you to rhetorically analyze Clive Thompson's article on reading War and Peace on his iPhone. Okay, so that's basically the overall gist of what you're doing. It's just that we're using Twitter to do this, which in and of itself is a rhetorical move. To write your response in this way on Twitter is a different move than composing this in an academic essay, say for example paragraph form, and submitting it that way. So think about these types of things. Think about the ways that we use different media and what that suggests about the content itself. Okay, so the requirements: it needs to be at least 15 tweets, it needs to be numbered in some way, it needs to have multimedia, so that can be linking out to other sources or screenshots of the original text. You need to respond to the questions that I have in the directions here. And just because we're on Twitter, please don't resort to lingo or shorthand, abbreviated Twitter speak. Try and keep it academic, just as we see in these examples from Oren Cass and others. When you're finished, you'll take the URL from your thread and you're going to post that in Canvas and submit that, and that's how you'll submit this. But also remember, don't forget to mention me so that I see it directly in Twitter as well. Please don't wait until the last minute to try and do this. This can be somewhat difficult if you're not used to Twitter, but please let me know if you have questions about this or other assignments in the class, as this is a pretty busy week, and it's going to be just as busy pretty much from here on out. So let me know if you have questions. I'm more than happy to help, and I look forward to reading your Twitter threads. Thank you.